My goal as the director of the Institute is to facilitate collaborations to do research that has a social impact. Our particular focus is to look at learning across the lifespan and translate that into practical areas. We work in research sites from the early years through schooling to workplaces, and we work in diverse contexts as well.
Middle years research and education is very important because young people at this particular stage are at their most vulnerable. It's a period of rapid growth and development. We want young people to be engaged in effective teaching and learning experiences. We want their teachers to be people who are keen to be there. The research that we've built over time has led to a policy change in Queensland, and that policy has been the shift of Year 7 into secondary schools and the implementation of junior secondary in government schools.
My current research project is funded by the ARC, and what we are trying to do in this project is a co-inquiry model working with teachers to address the learning attainment of students who are not doing very well, particularly in reading comprehension. And the schools that we work with are usually in low socioeconomic communities, because in these communities a lot of the students have not been performing very well in the NAPLAN tests, and teachers have explicitly asked for assistance in trying to address some of these problems of improving learning attainment.
This project examined the everyday practices and lived experience of staff and students who are involved in teaching and learning in higher education using technologies. For educators, a key and very important condition for success is actively designing technology-enabled experiences that focus on learning. Secondly, is that educators must actively design their courses and learning experiences to improve student engagement. And finally, never before have we had so many exciting possibilities for educators to actively design those technology-enabled learning experiences, and this represents a rich area for further ongoing research.
At the Autism Centre of Excellence, we're interested in improving the quality of life for people with autism across the lifespan, and also looking at the impact of autism on the people around them. Children with autism tend not to do very well in school, and we know that there is a disproportionate number of these students who are failing and who are not succeeding in going on to post-school qualifications and employment. So our focus is very much on looking at what we can do to improve that situation, to make schools more user-friendly for students with autism, and also to make things easier for students with autism to manage in schools.
Applied theatre is theatre that takes place outside of a theatre. It traditionally works with community groups, marginalised communities. So if we work in a prison, we might develop Shakespeare work in a prison where the prisoners put on a Shakespeare play. In aged care facilities, it might be just about the importance of playing and creating a strong social relationship that enables people to have a little bit of pleasure during that day. So for us, the importance of applied theatre is understanding that creating art creates change, and understanding the nature of that change is really what we as researchers and practitioners are interested in doing.
We have a provision of education at the beginning of our working life, but it's the learning that occurs every day as we engage in our work activities, how we respond to new challenges and continue to learn to respond to those challenges, which is central to what is often referred to as lifelong learning. Now, I'm interested in how people learn their occupations through practicing those occupations. So, for instance, how nurses and doctors learn through their practice in hospitals and other kinds of clinical settings, and how they go on to develop further their knowledge as they respond to the challenges they face in their work.